Alright, T-Rex82 here. Welcome back to the channel. This is going to be the first installment of the Empyrion Galactic Designer Showcase. I'm going to try to do this once every week, kind of pick out some builds that I see on the workshop, either in the headline or even in the dark recesses of the workshop itself, and kind of pull them to the forefront. I think there's a lot of people out there who do not get the recognition that they deserve. Especially for those who think outside of the box. So everything that you see here today is going to be in the description down below. I will have a link, and I highly, highly recommend each one of you go out, subscribe, and give them a little bit of love. We all need it. So we're going to start off right today with the Inheritor SSX A11. Now this is for Alpha 11. This is by none other than CrazyZ. I will also put a YouTube link for you. He does some really crazy videos out there, go figure, which are really enjoyable. So we'll go ahead and jump right in and take a look at this here. So this is going to be an SV. It looks like this is currently Alpha 11 Tier 3. So you've got a lot of room for improvement in here. It's currently only sitting at 25,232 CPU. But this guy does some things that I have never, ever dreamed of. And we'll get into that a little bit. We're just going to look at the outside real quick. I like the way he's got a lot of these angles in here. His texturing is out of this world. He picks colors. From what I can tell, most of his builds are more of a luxury kind of SV kind of build. And I love that. It takes me back to a lot of the luxury versions of like Star Citizen, things like that, that has great materials. It's lush. It just feels expensive, and he does a great job with that here. But he takes the time to actually separate some of these colors just slightly with his own color palette, and it looks absolutely wonderful. The other thing that he does is he's been playing a lot with the signal logic and also the new, if you want to call them HUD text. You can see on the inside. We'll get in there a little bit. But he does a really great job with that. And there's something really exciting on the inside that I need to figure out how to do. So Crazy, if you're watching this, we may need to get together and you need to teach me how to do this because it's absolutely wonderful. So we'll come around the back side. He's got some really big thrusters on the left and right. You don't need so much for the for the downward thrust. So, you know, it's what you need. He doesn't build too far out of the box as far as that's concerned. What do we got under here? We've got a decent amount of lift thrust. Not too bad. We'll have to take a look and see what kind of cargo it can have. It's a little bit weird to me that there's extremely heavy side thrust, but not lift thrust. But hey, who am I to judge? It looks great. I think it's wonderful. Got some good angles here, some good cuts inside here. I like it. I like it a lot. Good use of the wings. I like the offset angled wings. It's really cool. I think it's great. So let's go ahead and jump inside and take a look. Now, when this kicks on, I want you to pay attention. When I walk through that front door, look up at the ceiling. Look at that. Never even dreamed of that in my life. And he has them set up on a signal logic, which I got to pick apart and figure it out. So that once I exit this room, you'll see them go into a different pattern. At least they did earlier for me. Oh, maybe not. Oh, yeah, they did a weird pattern before. Oh, maybe it's because I turned this off. Flashing lights. Inactive. Come on. I love it. I love it. There they go. So they turn off once I'm out of the area and turn back on when I get in the area. It's a great, great look. I love it. Great, great job, Crazy. Wonderful. I like how he showcased the warp drive on the side over here, and he's done a bed over here, which is cool. It's not functional, obviously. I wish that's something that Alien would put on in for these SVs. I think it would really elevate it just a little bit more, but it looks very similar to the style that I did in, I believe, my Aether. But yes, absolutely love it. Looks great. We've got, on this side, we've got your armor locker hidden over here in the wall. On this side, you're going to have your O2. Cool, very cool. I like the shape of the interior. Everything flows together really well. I'm not catching any radiation, so that's good. What do we got over here? We've got a refrigerator and also an O2 tank. Good. Basic necessities. 2,000 storage. Now, that's not terrible. It's not the best either, I would say, for a tier 3. I would like to see that up a little bit higher. Maybe around the 5,000 to 7,000 mark on an SV. I think it would be great. But as far as the design is concerned, I know it's hard to fit some of that in the design elements every once in a while. But still, I love this interior. It looks great. Again, he's using materials that I've never used. Even just like the carpeting, I believe that's what that is. It looks great. It's a nice matte finish. Does a really good job with that. So we've got a little drone hatch up above us. I broke it, apparently. Let's fix that again. There we go. So that's useful. Excellent. Good view. Exterior lights. See, and this is what I'm talking about. He's got these flashing lights active and exterior lights active. Let's take a look at this from the outside. Now that looks glorious. I love it. Okay, so again, not a whole lot of lift. It's a little slow, not too bad. Once you get some weight in here, it's going to be interesting. But let's take a look and see how this thing flies. Crazy acceleration, good roll. Oh my gosh, this thing is wonderful. Crazy, you have outdone yourself here. And I'm not even in pilot mode. Pilot mode is something that I tend to rely on a lot, so I'm not getting these weird mouse movements. But I can almost get 180 degrees on one mouse sweep across the mouse pad, and I have a tiny mouse pad. What we got here? Decent amount. So this is, I filled this up on fuel, so we're looking at about an hour's worth of fuel when all is said and done, under full throttle all the time. Great job. I love it. Again, that is the Inheritor SSX Alpha 11 version by CrazyZ. Great job, sir. Great job. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Next one is going to be the Plainrider. And you'll have to bear with me here if I mess up the name, but I believe it's Sulusdacor. This is going to be an HV, and I love it. It's great. This is going to be a Tier 1, just over Tier 1. The efficiency level is a little high, but he may not have designed this for Alpha 11. I'll have to look at that and see. But even so, I'm sure you could find a place to fit in even just that Tier 2 CPU, just to take it up to 12,000. But it's great. So what he's done is he's built a basic shape around this cockpit, which I struggle with all the time. It's not one that I typically use. I do like the styling of it. I just have a hard time with the front end on it. But he's done a great job here. It's got a very nice set of thruster housings on the side that just give it that nice aggressive angle, and I really, really like that. But what he's done is he's built the base around it to be symmetrical. And what he's done is he's gone a little bit further and added asymmetry. And that's not something I see very often. It's something I want to see more often, with seeing like a turret on this side and some decor on this side. I know it's not that efficient, but it does have that RP value. And I love the way these wings, these kind of like almost like shoulders, come up on the side of this of the Plainrider. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that is cool. I don't know how you did that, but I love it. I'm going to figure it out. Very cool, man. So we've got on this side, we do have a fridge. Over here, we have got a cargo box. And moving around the back, I do like, we got your detector. It's basic. It's a good starter vessel for sure. Let's see what the materials cost is. It is nothing. There's practically nothing to this. So this is an excellent, excellent starter vessel. Great job. I love it. Let's see how it handles. All right, that's not bad. Oh, that feels good. So it doesn't have a whole lot of storage. So this is kind of like a, I would like to see this. I'm assuming that he may not play with weights and volumes. I would like to see a version of this. Maybe even if you just bump it out, widen the back end just a little bit, just so you can fit in some container extensions. Do it that way. I think it would look great. I think it would be phenomenal if this back end was just a little bit wider, even by one block, so that people who play with weights and volumes can use that as well. But great job, sir. I absolutely love it. Again, that one is Sulusdacor, and it is the Plainrider. Next one you have seen on the J. Randall YouTube channel. This is by NMK 111. It's the DS600. Now, this is the MCRN edition. I'm quite happy with being able to work with J. Randall on the previous build that I had done. And I'm still working on some other stuff, not necessarily for J. Randall, but for myself. But it's time to kind of get back into that. But NMK has done a great job with this. I loved what he has done to give it this industrial feel. Now, I struggled with it quite a bit on the Taiki build. I think it came out really great. But what he's done here is he's gone to an even next level from that. With he's a man after my own heart right now. With all this piping, all of this grating, he's using these thin blocks, which I absolutely love to use. He's just, I mean, look at this. Just look at this thruster module. I mean, this thing just looks like it's ready to lift the Earth. Like it's ready just to take off and carry whatever the hell you need to underneath it. I mean, even that said, with this the way it is, I'd almost say take off this right here. And maybe you could figure out how to mount some even thin external cargo boxes or something. You'd have to do it as like an HV or I don't know. I don't know how it would work. I think it would be great. I think we're almost to that point where there's a few things that I'm working that are kind of using that, but the detail in here and the texturing is textbook. He hasn't left any section of this uncovered. It looks absolutely wonderful. Let's take a look at the inside. All right, so let's jump down on foot and go on in. I like the double door. I kind of wish I had used that a little bit more often. I might have to steal that from you, NMK. Sorry about that. Oh, cool. Down on the floor, you've got your shield generator. What tier is this? This has got to be a tier 4, right? Yeah, tier 4. With room to grow. You still got another 18,000, well, 17,400. 17,000, oh, I can do math. 17,368. Yes. So you've got room to grow in there. It's a great interior. Again, a lot of detail. And I get a lot of questions when I build, like, when do I say texturing is enough? When is enough enough? And I just stop. I'll be honest with you, for me, I don't think, for the most part, especially on interiors, you need to make these small spaces as detailed as possible. So on the interiors, I like to do a ton of texturing, which he has done here. And it looks absolutely great. I do like this wall. He's done a good job keeping a little bit of a flat. You don't want the whole thing to be textures. But it's just everywhere I look on this, there's something that's catching my eye that's very interesting, and I could just kind of stare at it for hours. I don't know how this works in survival. I am a little curious just because this is blocked in. I'm sure you're probably okay. I do not know, though. I'm hoping it is because it looks absolutely wonderful. Again, he's got these little details up here. I like all these. I would love to have these LCDs actually be functional, kind of like in Space Engineers at some point. Oh, this is cool. See this? Come on now. Come on now. Oh, I love it. Jeez. And MK, you're outdoing yourself on this one. Drone hatch. Excellent. Absolutely wonderful. What do we got over here? Constructors, switch on off. Okay, no problem. Oh, look at the little vents. He's even used those. Oh, it looks wonderful. So we've got your armor lockers, refrigerators, carry 4 passengers. Excellent. Plenty of O2. Oh, there it is. Constructors tucked away. What do we have? We have ammo, 1,000. I don't think you need to go any higher than that, to be honest with you, as far as ammo is concerned. I think that's a decent amount. All right. I like the asymmetry here. Now, where is... There it is. All right. Container controller, 32,000. So you did manage to fit 32,000 in here. Excellent. Excellent job. Ah, this thing's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I do like the little cargo box on the outside. I never thought to use it like that, but it looks wonderful. Dual access either side. Do you have one on this side? Yes, you do. Awesome. And we'll take a look at all these in the light, or in the darkness afterwards, because a lot of these look really good. But again, that is the DS600 MCRN edition by NMK111. Again, go ahead, take a look in the workshop and give that a nice subscribe and give them some love. All right, so moving on, we're going on to the Phoenix F1. Looks like this is version 2. This is by Fox443. I love this. The reason I love this is because it's completely out of the box. I mean, he's using the flat blocks, which I love to use, but he's taken the time to really just shape them. And the footprint of this, it just looks badass. I can't say anything other than that. It just looks mean. It looks majestic. It looks great. Quite a lot of weaponry on here. There's a couple concerns that I do see with it, and we'll see that on the inside. But you've got a good spread on the weapons, which is also very good. I don't see anything obstructing the view of the other. And as far as being targeted by the AI, it should be no problem. All right, so let's move around the back here. What do we got here? Actually, I see an arrow. Oh, so that's the entrance. Okay. We've got container controller ammo. It's a lot of space for ammo. 6,000. It seems a little excessive to me. But again, that's that is a personal preference. Now, this is a tier 4. And I imagine it's that high because of the weapons. Oh, this has got RCS. It's got a ton of RCS in it. I can't imagine it requires that much RCS. We'll take it for a test drive and see what we've got here. We've got the O2 station here. Nice, tucked away. I do like the passenger pods on the side. Very cool. Very cool. This back end is very nice. It's very different. It's very angled, and it looks like the tail of a phoenix. I love it. It gives it that little just aggressiveness. More passenger on this side. Over here we've got cargo. 6,018. So this is where I would bump down the amount of ammo required, or the ammo size, and I would bump up the extensions for the containers. It's just a personal preference. Again, that's again me. Armor locker over here. Now the concerning part for me is this. Let's not fall through the world. Let's try that again. All right. Concerning part is this access point. I think it's the same thing. Once I get in here, I don't think I can get out. Oh, actually, it booted me back out. Hopefully it... Oh, I'm still in. Oh, it's freaking out. All right, it's working. Let's take it for a spin. All right, so it turns really well. Roll is okay. It's not the worst, but again, with 37 RCS in here, I would expect it to be better than that. So I'm wondering if it does require that much RCS just to get this to roll over. It is something to look at. But again, out of the beauty of it, I mean, this thing is, I mean, look at that. It's just absolutely stellar. So I'm still going to give this a thumbs up to Fox 443. I really like this. I think it can be expanded upon. One thing that I would probably do on it is I would kind of widen this just a little bit. I'd probably remove these two and bump out, if you want to call it the girth, so to speak, on this by 2 blocks. Kind of give it a little bit more of a wedge shape right here to kind of match the back. Because you can see the back is bumped out by 2 blocks as well. So I think for a balance, you could do that and get away with it. And I think that would take it to the next level. I think you could really embellish on the interior, make it a little bit more textured, a little more roomy. But either way, as a concept, I think this is very, very good. So again, this is the Phoenix F1 version 2 by Fox 443. He does have version 1 out there. I believe it's a different paint scheme on it, more of a Phoenix. So it's going to be like the yellows and oranges. But I will have a link to this one on the description down below as well. So great job, sir. Very good. And this brings us to the last one, which is the WS071 Anthracite. And this is by Wildfire. Now, this is an SV. It's a tier 1 SV. So, the thing that's intriguing about this is it does have some container extensions. It doesn't have a ton of them. But he does have a load, an absolute load of thrusters on this. And I'm thinking you could probably remove some of these. We'll take it for a test flight afterwards, but let's just jump into the aesthetic portion of this. Now, he's got this thing sitting on the ground, and believe it or not, it is attached. I don't know how, because I have tried that in the past before, and it wasn't able to sync up, but it just looks phenomenal. Great job with the transitions in the front. Good angles. I would do a little bit more in the texture side just to kind of make this pop a little bit more. But it does these angles that you've really spent time shaping this, and I can see it. And I really, really like these transitions. So excellent job there. Very cool. So it's got the 1 Gatling gun. It's all you need for starting out. This is perfectly sufficient. But yeah, you've got a lot of thrust on here. This is a problem on my server. Again, you may not play this way, but my server does not allow to have thrusters placed in locations that are obstructed. So this one just wouldn't work for me, but I don't think I would need it with the amount of thrust that you have on the back that's not being utilized at the moment. You've got 6 back here alone. So I might even just take those out, remove that completely, and then box it in. But you've done a great job with the angles on here. Got some decent thrust going downward. I'm wondering if you could almost just get away with 2 of those. But a lot of people, they do it for looks, and I do the same thing. I can't knock anybody for that. There's a balance between aesthetics and functionality that's very, very hard to get. And when you do get it, it's phenomenal. But it is something that's very, very difficult to get. So we got tucked inside here. We have a fridge. Looks like we have room in here, probably because he ran out of CPU to be able to put anything else. So that's where taking out a couple thrusters would do you some service. We've got an ammo stuck in the back there. So I'm assuming these container extensions are for the ammo box only. I don't think that it has, unless I'm missing it. What's this here? Oh, there. So there's the ammo container controllers. It does not look like it has oxygen. It doesn't look like it actually has just a normal container controller, which is a little bit of a problem. I mean, you do need to be able to carry some things around. So again, what I would do is probably, what is the size on this? I would take out a couple of these, this row honestly. Back it up on the side, and then probably move the refrigerator somewhere on here, and then put in a container controller with even just a row of something, just so you have a little bit of room. Even if it's 1,000, if you can get 1,000 in there, that's perfectly fine. Again, this is a extremely early, and I'm guessing this thing is dirt cheap. I mean, it's got to have nothing. Oh god, yeah. Carbon substrate's 406. That's the most expensive thing. Everything else is a piece of cake. You can get that in a half an hour, if that. All right, lighting, love it. Let's take this for a test drive and see what we got. Oh yeah, okay. So this is almost even too much. Ooh, the roll is insane. So I would remove a couple of the up and down thrusters, because it is just a little too much. Side to side, don't need a whole lot of thrust there. But again, this thing is, good God, it's twitchy. I'll give you that. But I mean, yeah, the roll is very, very responsive. Does this have RCS? No, it can't have RCS, because that would throw it way over. Ooh. All right. Yeah, I would honestly remove a couple of those thrusters, but I do like this. I do like the way it is looking. I like the boxiness. I love the way it sits right on the ground, and it just looks like an aggressive little fighter for starting out. So yeah, 1, 2. I'd remove these 2 inner ones, and I would remove. Oh yeah, so you got a lot of thrust here. I would remove probably at least 1, 2. I would remove these altogether. 1, 2, 3, 4, and leave the back ones alone. And I think that would be perfect. That would give you a whole lot of room to do other things. Maybe attach more weapons, or you could, like I said, increase the cargo capacity. But either way, as it sits, it looks absolutely wonderful. Let's get some night shots in here. And I love the spread on this. It looks great. It looks mean. So it's got a purpose. Very cool. Very cool. Just a single light on this, but he's done a good job with the texturing with the lights. You can see in back here. It looks absolutely wonderful. Phoenix. And of course, here comes the DS600, which is absolutely nutty. He's got the flashing lights, which is absolutely wonderful. He's taken his time with that, placed them in certain areas to make them really pop. Oh, look at this. It looks absolutely wonderful. It's one of those things like this. I know it doesn't serve much of a purpose having these exposed like this, but it looks phenomenal. They spend so much time modeling these things. Why cover it up? It's not something that I would see doing all the time. I love this. Absolutely love this. The way it looks so much like a construction vehicle. Yes, very cool. All right, and then moving on to Plainrider. Very small little details. These small little lights. Love it. Little accents here and there. Very good job. Very, very good job. Again, with that asymmetry. I love it. I want to see some more like this. Those of you watching, do some asymmetry. It's something I would really like to see. Little details. And then, of course, you've got the Inheritor SSX Alpha 11. And this thing is just beautiful. It's out of this world. It just screams luxury. Like I just can't stop. So I'm probably going to use this at some point in my survival play. I probably will. I'm not going to lie. I really like it. All right, so we're going to leave it right there for this week. I thank you all for joining me. Again, please go in the workshop, hit these links, download them, give them a thumbs up, give them some great feedback, some good comments. And until next time, keep your heads above the hard deck. I'll catch you later.